When it
And
comes to money, we're looking out at other people and we're judging them
yeah,
based on the car that they
yeah,
drive, based on the
yes,
shoes that they wear,
yeah,
based on the businesses that they
yes,
own. And so we peel all of that back in an experience like the wealth within so that we can, one, first and foremost, stop judging ourselves,
yes,
start loving ourselves, and then have a different relationship with other people as it
yeah,
pertains to their money too.
yeah, yeah. And
So
it creates space for us all to be our whole selves.
yeah, and it is a transformational experience because I'm very clear that in experiences like the wealth within, we can carve a new path when it comes to the world's relationship with money, but we have to get out of the ego conversation when it comes to money, that more is better.
Welcome back to season 2 of the Catalyst podcast. I'm your host, Sonia Petkewich. This season, we have a number of new guests on that are business owners from right here in the Las Vegas community, as well as nonprofit movers and shakers and members of the Catalyst Mastermind community. Each week, I'll bring you 2 episodes that will bring you highlighted entrepreneurs from the Las Vegas market, as well as challenge you to think differently about your business and how you're showing up in the entrepreneurial world. So let's dive in. Welcome back to the Catalyst Mastermind podcast. I'm so excited to have my dear friend, Lisa Chastain from Chastain Enterprises with me back for my first guest of season 2.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
I'm so glad to have you here.
I'm grateful.
I know. You were my first guest on my first season. Now
Yeah.
you're my first guest on my second season. We got to make this like a little date thing.
Number one.
I know, number one.
It.
I know. And so it's been kind of a journey of a year.
It has.
Hasn't it been?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been through some stuff, both separately and together. So I kind of want to recap on what has been going on. And then I have a fun little game I want to play with you because I've been working on this little project.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about what you've been up to.
Okay.
What has been like big in your world that you want to talk about
that
is going on with you?
Dang, girl. Okay. So I don't even remember when the last podcast episode was, but
it's been like almost a year, I think.
A year. Okay. So I was in a cycle and a pattern of saying all the things that I was going to do. And I did all of them last year.
All of them.
All
the things.
All the things. So my book came out.
Yes.
My audiobook came out in June. And then also around the same time, I was like, listen, I've been talking about doing this signature event for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew this was 12 years ago. I walked into a training room. You've done size seminars. I went through Choice Center, and I knew 12 years ago I wanted to be in front of the room.
Yeah.
And I've kind of sort of taken steps toward that in different ways. But last year was like, shit or get off the pot. This is the year I'm actually going to make it happen.
Yeah.
And so I partnered with my trainer, one of my transformational trainers, Robert Pleasance. We built our foundational seminar and it launched, and you were in the room.
Yes.
It's called The Wealth Within.
Yes.
And so as part of the vision, which I'm a huge visionary, for all I do is envision, said, no, this is the year it's all shifting.
Yeah.
So The Wealth Within launched. We're going to offer it again in April. I'm really excited. I know we can dig into it and talk about that. So the book, Wealth Within, Chastain Enterprises.
Yes.
Pitched a TV show. It's all happening.
It's amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's talk about The Wealth Within.
Let's do it.
So much gratitude for getting to be in the very first class or cohort of it, the very first seminar of it, because it was transformational for me. I love doing the work, and I think people can get like addicted to the work. So I'm very intentional about what I choose into and what I don't, because there's so much out there, and people can really, I can be like, oh, I'll just sign up for every class. I'll just sign up for every class. And you get in the habit of taking the classes, but not applying it. And I thought what was really key in this particular experience was that there was really some great tools and things that I could go home and just like immediately I could see and feel the shift in myself. Right. So that was a lot of ahas that like in the moment, there's a lot of, for people who haven't done personal development work and know this kind of language, like everything's a mirror, everyone is a mirror. And so there was a lot of mirrors in the room for me. And what that means is like, I can't see in you what I don't already see in myself. So there's no accident why there were, a lot of the people that signed up that at 6 degrees of separation or 3 degrees of separation, everyone knows Lisa Chastain, everyone knows Sonia Petkewich. Like there's a lot of people that know each other. And I was paired up with people through different exercises, but just to get to experience myself through other people's transformation and my own was really powerful. The way the experiences or exercises, whatever people want to call them, were set up was I felt transformational.
That was the intention.
Yeah.
That was the intention. I've been through when I count back over 2,000, 3,000 hours of personal development work. And I've done all kinds of trainings.
Right.
And now being a trainer myself, you and I are neurolinguistic programming trainers. I took all of that body of knowledge, Robert's 35 plus years of experience, and we looked at it because I'm a mismatcher.
Yeah.
Mismatcher matcher. We can talk about that on the show too.
Yeah.
I'm a mismatcher naturally, so I naturally look at the holes and the things that I would like to do differently.
Yeah.
And from that lens of all of my experiences, so here are the things about some of the transformational programs that I've been through that I don't love.
Right.
We're going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do this our way.
Yeah.
And one of those ways is we're not going to have you jump into a 4-day experience and then drag you through that experience.
Yeah.
We're not here to entertain you.
Mm-hmm.
We are not here to sell you.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, how can we create the most transformational opportunity for you in 4 days to do the work yourself?
Yeah.
Because when you do the work yourself, it's sustainable.
And I think that's really key in personal development work, because a lot of people have whatever perspective they have on it is like, oh, they're going to like trick me into having an experience or sell me on something. Yeah. And really the way that you and Robert unfolded it was like, I get to question myself. I get to question, like, how am I showing up in this moment? What does this mean to me? What does wealth within mean to me? It's not necessarily all about money and finance, but if I'm thinking about what does wealth mean to me as far as, you know, my health, my relationships, am I wealthy in life? That's what I took away from where the gaps for me in life. Am I living my wealthiest experience?
Yeah.
And, you know, going on 52, where are the gaps for that? And how am I in power in that? Right. Yeah. And so that was, for me, that experience. So what, as you're building the next class for it, what would you say to people that are in the question of like, wait, what does all of this mean?
What is it?
Because I think that's interesting. Like people are like, well, what am I going to do in the class? And I don't know what you're going to do in the class.
Okay.
Right? Like
I can tell you what you're going to do.
Right. Well, but I think people are like, want the answer.
Yeah,
and they want to, I can't tell you what you are going to experience. I can tell you how you'll walk through the class, but how you're going to experience it is how you're going to experience
Absolutely.
it. Right.
Absolutely. So here's our clearest intention. And having been in the finance industry and worked with people very intimately when it comes to their relationship with money, is that when it comes to money, there's a lot of ego in the industry. We're watching real-time systems of money, financial systems. They're working and not working for people. Wealth is a personal definition. And when we asked everybody at the end of the event, what was the difference between something like a financial breakthrough experience, does financial breakthrough resonate? Everybody said no. This is not about financial breakthrough. This is about my personal relationship with wealth, what it means, and how I embody that. With that, there are opportunities to break through because money is such a deeply rooted conversation personally. Shame, fear, guilt, frustration, anger, business. There are ways that we live our lives as it pertains to money that are working for us, and there are a lot of ways that aren't working for us. Robert and I's intention is to help you come and look at the soul side of money, the soul side of wealth, the soul side, the highest vibration side of life, away from scarcity, away from fear, away from anger, and give you the opportunity to experience that in the room. So when I'm operating as my highest self, how do I feel in that energy? And then connect that to wealth generation and create that, use that to connect to your future. We want you to live happy, whole lives. And you got to get out of scarcity to do that.
Yeah. And what does scarcity even mean to a lot of people? That was an interesting conversation throughout the weekend.
What was interesting about that for you?
Well, because I think people just think of scarcity as like without. And so what does without mean? And then what does that mean? What does not enough mean? And what is not enough to me was different than not enough to other people. And so I also think people's perspective, just don't judge a book by its cover, right? That whole, you know, just because I look a certain way and I'm a white female, middle class, that there's a lot of assumptions made about how I grew up or how I live my life today.
That's right.
And so that was a very big aha for a lot of people. And there's a couple exercises within the context of the weekend that, you know, people are, you know, wait, tell me more about your experience, because I didn't expect you to like show up that way in that exercise.
That's right.
And so I love that, because I love, if you read Adam Grant's book, Think Again, I think, being a scientist is better than being a politician or a priest and, politicking your opinion about me or trying to convince me to be a certain way.
And when it comes to money, we're looking out at other people and we're judging them. Based on the car that they drive, based on the shoes that they wear, based on the businesses that they own. And so we peel all of that back in an experience like the wealth within, so that we can, one, first and foremost, stop judging ourselves. Start loving ourselves, and then have a different relationship with other people as it pertains to their money too.
So and it creates space for us all to be our whole selves.
And it is a transformational experience, because I'm very clear that in experiences like the wealth within, we can carve a new path when it comes to the world's relationship with money. But we have to get out of the ego conversation when it comes to money, that more is better, or that more is going to fix our lives, and more is perpetuated by a scarcity conversation. I mean, we could go down the wormhole here.
100%.
But for me, in the work that I know, this is my passion, my vision, my purpose. And also with the wealth within, it's time to bring men into the conversation.
And I always love this type of work too, because I always meet people I know I would not have otherwise met had I not had the opportunity to, come together in community in the way where you have vulnerable conversations. And vulnerable
about
doesn't
money.
have to mean, that we're all breaking down and crying. We're just connecting and just being like, hey, hi, I'm Sonia and I'm whoever. And to be able to meet in that community and then you make a friend and you're like, wow, I love that I got to know you in this way in this big little city that we live in, which is
and most
great.
There were so many participants that weren't from Las Vegas.
That flew in from all over, which is
the world.
Fantastic. So congratulations. So how can people find out about it, and how can people sign up for April 30th?
LisaChastain.com/the-within-. You can go to my website. It's all there.
We'll drop the links in.
That's
too.
right. I will give a code. So let's use the code CATALYST.
Okay.
And you can get 25%
Perfect.
off.
Perfect.
So that's my gift back to the community. So jump in. There's nothing like this experience offered in the world. You've been to Tony Robbins. You've done the personal development seminars. Yes, and it's similar, but not. And also we incorporated breath work into this experience, because breath work really opens up the way to do a deeper, more healing, transformative experience, get you out of your head, into your body. And all of us in the room knew that something moved in that room after the breathwork experience.
I had done breathwork before. I was telling my neighbor, because I had done it with her at Area 15. And I said, I'd never done breathwork before. She's like, you did it with me. I'm like, I know, but when I did it with you, I was like this. I was like, I wasn't really able to like be present. And without, how do I look? Am I doing it right? And the person who led the breathwork was really amazing and created space to be like, what, it doesn't matter. Let me just be here in this moment and do it. And so that was an awesome experience. I wasn't sure how to do it. Am I doing it right? And I felt he did a really great job in creating that moment for everyone, which was pretty incredible.
It was pretty incredible.
So
the wealth within is perfect to like wrap this all up. It's perfect for the high functioning individual, for the successful individual who knows that there's more when it comes to their relationship with money. And also for someone who's wanting to have a bigger impact in the planet and play a bigger game, which doesn't always mean more.
Right.
So if that intrigues you, look it up. And I'd love to talk to anybody who's interested.
You can get with me. I'm happy to share my experience and connect you with Lisa so that she can tell you how to get in on it.
The other thing that I did, which I didn't mention earlier, is that I certified coaches, and you are one of them. Well, last year was wild.
Last year was pretty crazy when I think of all that we did. And then January was just like crazy town.
Boggles.
It was so much, just a lot happening, but, everything happens for a reason. And I just think it was the end of that, the year of the snake.
Yeah, we put a cherry on top of the snake.
Right.
Time for the fire horse.
Yes, I love it. So that was pretty amazing to have that happen all at once. And now we're moving with fierce momentum into the new year, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah. And I want to talk about and shout out to our opulence group. Because we have the most incredible women.
So exciting.
We really attracted this really dynamic group of women in the group. And everybody is in a conversation of wealth. and what it looks like and feels like for them.
Yeah.
And everybody has successful businesses, but everybody is also now creating like these different
Yeah.
side projects where
Right.
they've
Passion
had passion projects and really heartfelt projects.
Yeah.
And so for women who are watching this, who are interested in how they can work with us, Opulence, we still have space in.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful mastermind experience. We'd love for you to come and check it out.
Yeah. I was thinking about that too. Like everyone has these fantastic established businesses that they're very much into learning how to still grow and develop and be better at in whatever capacity it is. How can I continue to like create this business that I've had for 13 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, and develop it and grow it as a leader. But I'm at this space as a woman that wants to do more and have different impact in all these amazing ways. I think everyone in the room is doing something else and something additional, which is, and it has to do with creating a different vibration with others and bringing others together and impacting others and heart and soul work, which is kind of awesome.
It's awesome. It's super awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I love that because you and I have been a part of other mastermind kinds of experiences, and there are other business kinds of groups in Las Vegas and across the planet that are very focused and driven toward result.
Revenue, scaling.
Yeah. What's your EBITDA? What's your net, and all of that. Not that those things aren't important.
Yeah.
However, if we can get into the soul conversation when it comes to business and our why and our purpose, we are resonating at a much higher, elevated, energetic level.
Yes.
We barely talk about numbers, and yet we're all creating successful businesses, second businesses, and lives.
Yeah, because how you do one thing in one area is how you do it in others. And so I think the work that we're doing in those soul areas and having impact in other areas, they're taking it back to their business. And their businesses and their families are seeing shifts in them, which is a byproduct of how they're showing up. And to get to coach in that space and lead in that space is helping us as leaders. I know it's shifting me. Like I know I see a difference in me. I feel a difference in me. And so that's very powerful. So if you're looking for a group for women and you're a business owner and you want to join that space, we have seats available there as well, which come hang out with us once a month.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
I love that.
Very cool. What else did we leave off the table?
Talked about the coaching certification.
Wealth Within.
Talked about Wealth Within. Talked about Opulence Mastermind, the TV show. Which I can't share a whole lot about that. But you and I are both now certified and trained to do 10-hour breakthrough experiences. And I made a declaration probably 5 years ago. I was working with a team out of New York City, and I said, hey, I want to show.
Yeah.
I want to show. I didn't exactly know what that looked like. And I attracted this incredible new marketing team and individual into my life. And I told him, this is my intention. This is what I want.
Yeah.
And he said, let's do it. We didn't really know exactly what the show concept was going to be. But then we were in a conversation. I said, I can do these 10-hour breakthroughs. And they, sometimes they're 10 hours, sometimes they're 12 hours. But I have the ability to, and so do you. And we did a breakthrough last
October.
year. And it can really clean up some of our past, some of our patterns, some of our history in the lens of money, but in all the lenses. And look at our how did we become who we became when it comes to money? Take it out of a macro conversation and into this is how I truly need to transform my life conversation. And so we did that. We filmed 2 episodes back to back of 10-hour breakthroughs. And now we're in the process of putting them into production.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Creating the first season. I want to show that there is so much more to money than just budgeting.
Yeah.
Which, of course, hello, my
book. Yes.
And so much of what we do when it comes to money has everything to do with our generational patterns and histories.
Yeah.
And we have to dial those back and look at those and also release emotions that we have around it. That's the actual work that's going to heal the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think people feel like they don't really understand breakthrough or timeline and all that stuff. So those are conversations we could probably dig into deeper. But the breakthrough really allows people to break up those stories.
Yeah.
Right. And to get to the point of I had this experience, and a lot of people that I'm working with, you were talking with all the time, are in that victim, right? Diagram, that
threaded drama triangle.
Threaded drama triangle of staying in that narrative of, this happened to me. And we're not negating at all that people have had trauma, that people have had experiences. I mean, we're living real time, right? With the news headline every day about trauma that's happening all time. And it's being thrust back at us every day with, if it bleeds, it leads, right? With every story that's going on. We know that trauma is happening to individuals. And then what happens is that you then, a lot of people get stuck in that story. And so then how they frame every other experience in their life is through that lens. Well, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, or every time this happens, I have to attack it from a place of anger or shame. And therefore, I cannot have what it is I say I want to have in my life.
Yeah. So let's break down neuro-linguistic programming, because this will really help, I think, support. And what is the breakthrough and why is it so important? Is neuro, our brain, linguistic, our language, and programming. And if we look at it from a top-down perspective, we're taking in information all day long, and our brain is then sorting and filing, distorting, generalizing, or deleting that information. And then it comes in, it moves into the programming in the way that we process information through our language. Someone's language is an indicator of their reality. And so we talk about this in The Wealth Within. I talk about it a lot in my world, is that we have this map of reality that was created a long time ago, starting back with ancestral history, generational patterns, generational traumas, and then boom, we're born. And for the first 7 years of our lives, life imprints into us through how we take in information, how it becomes a pattern, how we model, then either model or reverse model those behaviors and those things. We made some decisions about ourselves along the way. And through our language, talking about the dreaded drama triangle, a lot of us are perpetuating victim. We are a victim to the world around us. We are a victim to our parents. We are a victim to money. Really. And it's not, and I think the majority of the people that I've done breakthroughs with, they don't want to be that way anymore. But because the programming is so embedded and so unconscious, we don't know what we don't know. And so in my own breakthrough experience, and you can share yours, but for me, the biggest breakthrough is that when my grandma got sick, who was my safe person, I didn't know this before the breakthrough. I love my grandma. I miss my grandma. I miss the hell out of her all the time. But her getting sick, and also the fact that I'm a twin and I have an older sister and I was the baby, I didn't get the attention that I needed and wanted from my parents for a lot of reasons. I have empathy for that now. But going into the breakthrough, I was pissed about it. I was resentful. I had some guilt and shame. I felt like I was a burden to my family. And then when my grandma got sick and I was barely a teenager, my entire family I felt like we abandoned her. And it was a really painful experience for me. Now, as a white middle-class woman, I also minimized my pain because it wasn't complex trauma. There wasn't verbal abuse. There wasn't physical abuse. There were other kinds of dysfunction in my life, but I minimized my guilt. I minimized my pain because it wasn't that bad compared to other people's experiences. And I walked around with that pain for a long time. Through my breakthrough, I realized that when my family, my map of reality, my family abandoned my grandma, I felt like I also abandoned her. And I felt powerless in that situation, and it caused me a lot of pain. And then also what happened, the same year that she died, I abandoned myself. That's how we take in the world around us, process information. Everything is personal to the unconscious mind. And that abandonment to my grandma, I took out on myself. In the form of drugs, alcohol, partying, not taking care of myself, getting into relationships that weren't healthy for me, creating codependency. Everything that perpetuated itself in my first marriage was a result of all the pain that I was in that I had no idea how to process. And it was through the breakthrough, which is a huge emotional release. If you allow it to be, I was able to let all of that go. Release the pain, recontextualize the experience. And what I learned from that is that my parents did the very best that they could do. I have a great deal of empathy for my mom and for my dad. My relationship with my parents changed after my breakthrough. My relationship with myself changed. And after that breakthrough is where I started creating all the results that I've been talking about for years, because I stopped abandoning myself and my dreams.
That's super powerful. Super powerful.
That's the true healing that
Yeah.
needed to be done that I had no idea how to do. And so you and I have the ability now to do these 10-hour breakthroughs, and I can't wait to show the world what's possible.
Yeah.
When we just give ourselves the opportunity to invest in ourselves
Right.
and get the support that we need to heal.
And I think it's even just knowing that we're holding on to that. Because that was for me in my breakthrough is I didn't realize like I was holding on to anger.
We don't know what we don't know.
Yes. And so when you're in that context and the questions and the way that it is like our unconscious mind is there to preserve and protect. That was like one of my biggest learnings through the whole thing is that it's there to serve us. And so it's protecting us until we're ready to become aware of it, deal with it, confront it, reframe it, do all the work that we need to do. And so for me, I think my childhood was so much about me preserving, protecting other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And being the savior, being the chaos fixer. And so what have I done as an adult in business is be that person for other people.
That's
and
right.
Not saving myself, right? Not taking care of myself, being always someone who's taking care of other people first. And so that hasn't served me in business because then I don't charge my worth. I don't put my business first. I don't put my family first. I don't put myself first. And so that was, then what gets to happen is I get to be angry about that. And so I don't realize that's the energy I'm putting off is anger, frustration, resentment comes up for me. And so getting to that like realization was like, well, that's not helping anyone. It certainly hasn't helped my family. It certainly hasn't helped me. And so what are those things that are holding me back was I have to take care of me first.
Yeah.
I get to do that.
You do.
And so that was huge for me in that. And my map of reality as a child was like, you have to take care of all the adults in your life and all the kids around you.
Yeah, because no one was coming. No one was coming.
No one was coming.
And also, if I may, you knew what you knew about your dad.
Yeah.
And you knew what you knew about your dad's death.
Yes.
And so some of your pause through your personal transformational experience was really focused on your dad.
Yes.
And how that impacted you.
Right.
But you didn't know how connected and deep it was as it relates to your mom.
100%.
And those are the things that come out in breakthroughs where we go, oh my God.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And I think that like my dad being the one who died, it was easier on a conscious level, like be mad at him because he's not here. How can you be mad at the person who's still here? Yeah. Right. Like, I think that I impact that a lot, like on a conscious level, like, well, he's not here. So it's easy to be mad. I can't be mad at my frail mom who's still here. Right.
Yeah, you can.
And so, right. and that I didn't have permission at a young age to be mad.
That's right.
And so giving myself all those, like, oh, it's okay. Like you can be mad at the right things and then how to reframe that. Like, oh, I learned to be resilient and I learned I could take care of myself because by taking care of other people, I was taking care of myself. Well, I could take care of myself first, right? And the oxygen mask has to go on yourself first. And if you take better care of yourself, then you can take care of other people. And I want a business.
Permission to do that.
100%. 100%. And learning all the money types. I'm an overgenerous Olivia, right? And so I give it all away, but I want to be more intentional about how I give in my finances. Not just to give it away. I want to be intentional of how I'm giving it away because there's more power in giving away funds and donating and contributing my time and money in an intentional way.
Yeah.
And so there's so much power in like all the growth that I've been through in the last year and be able to, I keep referring to this year of the horse and the fire horse. There's so much power. A horse is a very powerful animal. Fire horse, my logo with my companies is always centered around a bull, which is a very powerful animal as well, like that fierce animal and galloping and riding into the future is like a very symbolic metaphor for me this year in business. So
the picture that just came into my mind is that horses, yes, they are powerful and yet they are also very kind.
Oh, and very, discerning. If you've ever seen the videos of the ones that are at Buckingham Palace, like they know when to like nip at people who are not kind, but they also have a very gentle soul when there's like people who have like ailments or disabilities or need kindness. They always tend to like be very gentle and kind to those individuals who come up because you're not really supposed to touch them at all. And people do, but they will lean down and lick and like tend to those who are kinder and need attention, who have gentle souls. And I always just think that they just animals have a knowing. Yeah. Right. And so do humans really at our core. We do have a knowing. And women have a knowing intuition that we get to lean into more. So
very symbolic of the year.
For sure. For sure. We got the book, we got the TV show, we've got Wealth Within.
I will say that if anybody's watching this and you know that there's more for you.
Yes, 100%.
And in my world, the numbers matter. So I do a lot of fractional CFO work for companies. It's not that I don't care about numbers. I just believe that there's so much underneath the surface.
Yes, 100%.
When it comes to your relationship with money, if you can have the courage to be vulnerable and honest with yourself, plug into my world.
Yeah.
Plug into my world, because the people that were at Wealth Within are game changers on this planet.
Yeah.
And so it can feel vulnerable, but I promise you, we do our best to create the safest possible environment for very successful people to let their armor and guard down for just a few days to take a look under the hood and do the healing that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And just say what you need to say, and we're going to guide you through the whole experience.
That's awesome. All right, you want to play my new game?
I do.
All right. So I had these cards made, which I'm super excited about. They're very cool. They have my little brand on them. And there's 3 different decks because they have 3 different meanings. One's about just kind of like through the lens of NLP and Colby, like how you work naturally. One's about money, and one's about Nevada, like what Nevada means to you from like a business perspective.
I love it.
And they have random questions on them. So they're just conversation starters, because I have people come on the podcast like, oh my gosh, what am I going to talk about? And they freak out. And so I thought this would be a fun way just to have a random, interesting conversation.
And oh my God, you look so pretty today. You look so pretty.
Thank you. You can't see in me what you don't see in yourself. So you're so beautiful too. Okay.
Thank you, I know.
You want to pick a card?
How did your early environment shape your tolerance for ambiguity?
Oh,
that's a good question. I know. Hang on to it, because I'm a visual person. Ambiguity. Shape my tolerance for ambiguity. Wow. Well, I'm a Gen Xer, first of all. And Gen Xers were
just a young pup.
So young. You are too.
I'm forget you 52.
You're Gen X.
I guess.
You're not boomer.
I'm a wise Gen X.
But you're not a boomer.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm a boomer.
You're not. You're not. You're Gen Xer.
I don't even feel like I'm going to be 52. So there's that.
Yeah. Well, 50 is the new 30.
There you go.
Do you feel like you're going to be 32?
There you go.
Hell yeah,
exactly.
Okay. So Gen X, we were on our own. Like, I do not have a ton of memories of my mom. Like, we were on our own.
Yeah.
So
the streetlights came. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to be very dramatic about it. Like, days at a time, I didn't have any parents around, which isn't totally true. But my mom was at her kitchen window, and we had an acre lot, and we were just left to our own devices.
Yeah.
Or on our bikes in the streets. Yeah. So ambiguity meant for me, I just made decisions and dealt with the consequences of those decisions.
Total quick start.
Total quick start.
Right.
And I would get to the extent that I would get hurt, legit hurt, and not tell anybody, and just go to the bathroom, scrub it off. Yeah, like I sat on a nail once. I was really little. Didn't tell anybody. I could have probably gotten tetanus.
Fitness. I stepped on a nail once.
Yeah.
Didn't tell anyone.
No, I still have the scar on my ass. But I was like 4. I took a bath, washed it up.
Yeah.
Went on my way.
Yeah.
So ambiguity is an interesting word, but there is no fortune teller in business.
Yeah.
And even tomorrow is not guaranteed.
Yeah.
So I feel like life is ambiguous.
Yeah.
We just are the ones that create the meaning behind it.
Right.
So I'm very tolerant to ambiguity.
Yeah.
And I think that
Thrive
in
in
the early environment, I was just left to my own devices.
That's amazing.
So I learned how to trust myself too.
Yeah. All right. You want the money one?
Okay. Ooh. What financial risk changed your perspective ever?
Ooh.
Financial risk changed your perspective forever. I take a lot of risks. Naturally, I was just teasing my friend Rhiannon. You know Rhiannon. We tease each other because it's like, what is it that you say to yourself right before you take a big risk? And in me, I'm like, fuck it. And she's like, I know, I say the same thing. Let me just fuck it. Okay, we're just going to do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But which risk specifically changed my perspective forever was leaving my career in 2011.
I was thinking you were going to say that, yeah.
Leaving my career and then deciding to go into business.
Yeah.
And take
I could see you like walking out with the goldfish and the...
Yeah. I left on really good terms, actually. I was very sad to leave.
Yeah.
I knew it was the right decision at the time. But then what happened after that for the next 3 years was so chaotic. My husband has been in and out of work, and it changed my perspective that I knew when I was going back to work that I was on a mission to change my life and change the course of my life forever.
Yeah.
Which is why I became a business owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Just roll the dice. How do I support other women or minority entrepreneurs
here locally in
Nevada?
Yeah.
When I started
Yes.
Millennial Consulting, so now I have Chastain Enterprises, which is more of the media and the training and development. But my coaching practice, the very first declaration I made is that I'm going to make a difference for women in Nevada, specifically Las Vegas first.
Yeah.
Because born and raised on the cusp of North Las Vegas, there were not a lot of opportunities afforded to women, specifically and minority women on top of that. So I knew that I was going to, and to this day, if I get asked to speak in Las Vegas, for most of the time, I do it for free.
Yeah.
To be on any stage, any podcast, in any room with local women, that is my mission first and foremost.
Yeah.
So that's
awesome.
why I make a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. I give my time away. I'm very generous for the women in the Las Vegas community because this is where my heart is.
That's awesome. And this community is amazing. We were talking about statistics as far as like the number of women that are leaving corporate America, the number of women who are starting businesses. There's, I don't want to say epidemic, but there's like
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since January of 2025, 300,000 or more and counting women of color have left corporate America.
Yeah.
Total, we're probably about 500,000 women who have like mass exodus corporate America. And now we're seeing a lot of companies that are trying to hire and they can't find talent. We can't find talent. Well, the truth is women just don't want to deal with that bullshit anymore.
Yeah.
And so we're starting our own businesses.
Yeah.
And in Vegas, we get this feedback a lot being a part of the entrepreneurial community here is that the community that exists here of female entrepreneurs that support each other is not like any other community, especially in California. Women come here and they go, oh my God, this does not exist in California. So we're doing something right, I think, here.
I think it's pretty awesome. Yeah, there's definitely a vibe here, which is pretty cool. You see it all over. And I talk to people who are doing like the coolest things because I'll talk to them on the phone. I'm like, wait, what did you create? Like, who would have thought of that? Yeah. And I think it's, they're raising families or they're connected to loved ones that are a product of the family they've come from. They see a problem in the business, in the community, or in their lives, and they're like, I need to solve that. And big corporation isn't doing it. And so they're figuring out, like, how can I be that solution? And whether COVID pandemic forced that at a higher rate, or they're just don't want to go back to, the construct of 8 to 5 or whatever it is. It's like, I'm just going to do it on my own.
I think it's both. So COVID took everybody outside of their normal work life experience.
Yep.
And then when corporate America told everybody that they had to come back, that's when the pushback started.
Yeah.
Because I've been free. I've gotten a taste of some freedoms here. I like staying home. I like being around my family. And now you're telling me I have to commute again and be back in the office?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
On top of that, we had the Me Too movement.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just COVID. It was the Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter. People are speaking up.
Yep.
Women are speaking up.
Yes.
They're saying these things don't work for us anymore.
Right.
And so I think overall women are just rejecting a system that has oppressed us and suppressed us for a long time. And in the world of business, we can be whoever it is that we want to be. And it is worth the risk. It is worth the instability to figure it out because I'm going to bet on me instead of a false sense of security of a paycheck.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the rising cost of like healthcare and I don't know, all these other things, people are just figuring out how can we do it differently?
Creative solutions.
Yeah.
Women are putting together some really creative solutions right now. Dr. Jade is one of them in the medicine, making it affordable and accessible to more than just wealthy people.
100%.
Business owners have access to those kinds of constructs now. We're just choosing out of systems that no longer serve us.
Yep.
So female entrepreneurs are leading the way, and I'm grateful to be in our own way leading the conversation.
Yeah. Like I know that people say the female way is forward, and I'm sure there's like a part of society out there that's going like, oh, we're tired of that narrative, but like, why can't we all just do it together?
What narrative?
Yeah. We can't.
Narrative?
And I think
we want better and we deserve better.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's interesting because you're raising boys. I'm raising boys. I don't think this is like the feminist anti-male narrative either.
I'm not a feminist.
No. And what is the definition of that? I believe there's space for everyone in this world. And that includes within the women community too.
Absolutely.
There's like stay-at-home moms, there's working moms, there's moms who have 6 kids, there's moms who have, one.
Yeah.
Like there's so much beautiful space for us all. I just want to love on all of that. There's people who have kids late in life. There's people who have no kids. I just think
dog moms, cat
yeah,
moms,
who
lizard
cares?
moms,
Yeah.
snake moms.
The homeschooling mom. Like, I just think it's so beautiful when you meet someone and they are living their truth and they figured it out for themselves. And their like vibration is like going so high because of what they've figured out to do for themselves in that way. Like, who am I to like judge on that,
Go for it.
Like, go for it.
Go for it.
Figure it out.
Scarcity is going to divide us.
Yeah.
Before it unites us.
Yeah.
So people who are in scarcity conversations, there's not enough. It's us against them. That's not an abundant conversation.
No.
Yeah. And I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday because, like, what do we do if we have clients who are on different political spectrums than us? I said, I don't work to divide anybody. And because of neuro-linguistic programming, people have a map of reality for a reason.
Yeah.
We can challenge their map of reality. But as soon as we step into a conversation about making someone, we are at war with them.
Exactly.
It's not about right or wrong.
No.
It's about how do we, in our own maps of reality, work toward a healthier world.
Right.
That's a feminine conversation.
Yes. And I never wanted to be judged because I went back to work. So I'm not going to judge you for staying home. I think the world needs all of that energy to make it go around. And so let's honor each other for doing that.
And individual choices.
Yeah, exactly. So let's figure it out how we can all do that and do it for each other, because we're all raising kids or not raising kids and they're the future. So let's just show them all, let's give them all things to model that are positive for the positivity of the world and an abundant conversation.
Well, and men need our help.
Yes.
Men need our help just as much as we need them.
Yeah.
And the world has been so hyper masculine. It's not working. But when women step up and we step into our feminine energy and we give some men, also men need to rest.
Yeah.
They need that ability. So working moms support. I mean, this conversation can go in different ways, but that's why I'm not a feminist.
Yeah.
Because I believe that we need men and we get to support our men and love on our men. That's a healthy balance.
100%. 100%. I love it.
And hold men accountable.
Yes.
And women accountable.
Everyone. Yeah. Everyone has to be in a responsible conversation.
Agreed.
For sure. For sure. Well, this has been super fun.
Yeah.
I would love for everyone to at least get into your world. So we'll drop all the links and hopefully people are listening can see that whatever they're grappling with, that there is a solution out there, whether it's through the Wealth Within, money coaching with either of us, opportunities to at least answer the questions that are nagging at them. Because I think there is some off balance in everyone's world that they want to like shift and do better at.
I agree.
And so there's coaching, there's support out there, there's programs out there. And so lean into that as a business owner, because that's a great way to make things more fun and easy and just make life better.
More connected. Yeah. Thanks for having me. Also, I have a women's retreat in July.
Oh, yeah.
So
see, I knew there was something.
There's the Wealth Within. My book is a great place to start. All the things.
Yeah. So we'll just have to have you come back on and talk about it again.
I would love that.
Yeah. Super fun. Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us today on the Catalyst Podcast. We'll be back with our next guest. And for more this season, tune in to the Catalyst Podcast on Spotify, YouTube, and all the places. Talk to you again.